So a friend of mine sent me this article, and I'm debating in my head, is this propaganda or is this just stupidity? And it's a fine line, it's a fine line. I grew up with an evil mother, and a lot of the times I used to think, is she evil or is she stupid? Because she would say such mean things, and then you think, well, that's really mean thing to say, but then she would follow it up with a haha or oh, and pretend like it didn't happen. So then you're like, oh, maybe she's just too dumb to realize. So, but it could be an evil trick, right? I figured out my mom was evil, but whatever. This article is actually entitled "Why the Way We Teach Kids Table Manners is Actually Kind of Racist." Now, this is in a magazine called Today's Parent, and I just cannot believe that we are at this point in our society where teaching your kids table manners is deemed racist. So we're gonna cover this. Like, the article is really long. I was so annoyed just having to read this thing, but I'm gonna save you a lot of it. You can read it for yourself. But what I want to get to is the part where they actually get to how racist this is. So you have to scroll down in the article quite a bit. The start of the article is just about how when this person grew up, they were taught to eat the bread, Indian bread, with their hand, and to be so clean and to dip the bread the proper way and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's great if you're Indian and you're in India. But when you come to a place like Canada, which Today's Parent is a magazine in Canada, Canada is based on European values, Christian values, European. So Europeans eat with a fork, a knife, and a spoon, and that is what they brought over when they came to the New World and started developing the land here. So as a result, the culture in Canada is that you eat with a fork and a spoon and a knife. Right? It's not complicated. It's not racist. It's just the culture we have. But now all of a sudden, if we try to teach people to eat that way, we're racist. Unbelievable. I have almost no words anymore left. I don't even know how to put these videos out there without being angry. I don't, like, you probably can see it in my face and in my tone. Like, I'm normally a lot, like, I'm really a happy person, and I'm normally pretty easygoing. But when I see this kind of thing, it's like, oh, my heart and everything, I'm like, how low can we possibly get? This is insane. Okay, so let's go through this article, through the latter part, because I'm not gonna bore you with the other part of it. So let's go to, where is this here? Okay. Recently I chatted with someone who told me a story about her young niece who goes to a prestigious preschool, right? This is where it's at, and was eating rice with her hands at lunchtime. The feedback her parents received was that this child needed to work on her table manners and use proper cutlery to eat. I immediately felt a rush of anger bubble up inside of me when I heard this. The message that eating food with your hand is an unmannered way to eat is a real problem for me, because it was dripping with the control and shame of colonization. See, I'm getting so warm, I have to actually I'm not even trying to be sexy here, I'm legit warm. This is an attic where I'm recording my videos, and it's still summer in Canada, but it was cold outside today, hot up here. So, woohoo, arms. Okay, so suggesting that a child who eats with her hands has no manners is an echo of European colonial powers looking to tame the wilderness out of the people they controlled. These European table manners were imposed on conquered people in an attempt to civilize them. It's a damaging message about right and wrong ways to do things. It positions the technique as superior and the people who practice it as setters of the standard, leaving those with different approach to eating with a status of inferiority. The idea of a single standard of acceptable table manners is just one of a host of strategies used to grow and promote racism. See, I'm trying not to swear. You guys saw that, right? You saw the swear was like in my cheek, right in there. and it was trying to come out, and I clenched my teeth down and I was able to suppress it. So see, look at the face on slow-mo if you feel like it. That's exactly what happened. I am so trying not to swear on this one. I'm just gonna finish one more sentence on this stupid paragraph. It's a subtle message, but one that reinforces 3 times a day, every day, which makes it quite powerful. So, just to sum up this whole story, Canada, people come here from Europe. They create a new society in Canada. There are some wars with Native Indians. I know what I have to go there because every time I make a video on, it doesn't matter what, people tell me, well, the Native Indians, you colonized them and it's your fault and blah, blah, blah. Even though I didn't do any of that, I wasn't even born. How I can be responsible for what happened 400 years ago, I don't know. But these people seem to think I'm responsible. So we had some wars. We had some alliances with the Native Indians. Some of them died because of some diseases. It was a conquest, yes. But this is the history of the world everywhere you go. If you're gonna be angry about conquest and you have principles, you have to be angry also then at the Muslims. So every time you say, oh, but the Europeans conquered the natives, well, you have to say, well, yeah, and the Muslims conquered most of the Christian world, right? They conquered Syria, most of North Africa. That's conquered. So now that we've got that part of it out of the way, the European ended up staying here and building cities, building all of these different provinces. They built it. Then we started having immigrants, more immigrants come in from European countries. And all of a sudden in 1960, we decided we were going to accept all cultures. So not just European descent or European people coming over. Now, flash forward to 1960, where now all of a sudden all these cultures are coming. Now, the first couple of generations, they seem to have assimilated no problem. If the parents didn't, at least the kids did. They learn English, they learn French, and they are fairly Canadian. But now, 2019, we have an article telling us that by eating with a fork and a knife in our country is racist. Because we should let people eat however the heck they want and never criticize them. This is essentially saying people can come to Canada and do whatever they want, and you Canadians have nothing to say about it. You're not allowed to complain. If you're running up a posh preschool and you have rules there and your education is based off of the European legacy, well, shut up, because you're going to have people in your school that are going to come and they're going to eat however they want, and then you're going to have to let them. So, okay, what about if somebody came in and said, in order to eat, I need to shove everything in my face? That's my culture, right? What about if you're in a monastery, for example, and some people come and they are like, no, we slurp our soup, so we make a lot of noise. Like, this is the epitome of how you can see that multiculturalism cannot work. It does not work, because now in Canada there are some people who are writing articles in Today's Parent that are brainwashing all of these moms, stay-at-home moms who just had kids and all that, saying that if they teach their kid to eat with a fork, they're racist. It is beyond insanity. Like, insanity was like last year, 2018, when we started hearing that having a white kid was white supremacy, because if you're white and you have a white kid, you're promoting white supremacy. That was insane. Now we're beyond that. Now we're like, whatever you do, if it's not exactly like I do, and I'm an immigrant, you're racist against me. If you don't accept absolutely everything I come with in your country, you are racist. So essentially what's happening, people, is that in Canada today, the Canadians who are here, we are the ones who are expected to adapt to everything else. There is no more integration. Canadians have to integrate, not to one culture, not to one dominant culture like Canadian culture, like we used to ask immigrants to do, or immigrants even used to come here because they wanted to be part of us. But now we have to adapt. So if you go somewhere and you see people do something, you can no longer question it because it might be part of their culture. And if you do that, you're racist. So Canadians, you are expected to integrate everywhere you go. It is insane. It's insane. And okay, guys, look, we have elections coming up. Please vote for Maxime Bernier. Please. I don't know if we have any other force in Canada that is able to help us in this fight. The Conservatives gone. They're just like the Liberals. The Liberals are corrupt as F. The others parties are useless and ridiculous. And honestly, Maxime Bernier, People's Party of Canada, is literally, I think, our only chance at this point. So anyways, guys, just a really quick video today. I'm on my way to Ribfest tonight. It's gonna be awesome, but I will catch you all in the next one. Let me know what you think.